These are my absolute favorite videos to do, and that is prediction videos. We're going to look at some not so hot and some very hot sets today. I've got some good products, some good sealed products. We're going to predict where these Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes, booster boxes are going in the not too distant future. Where are prices going to be? And therefore, it might be able to give you a bit of a gauge on what is investable and what is not. Hey, if you're new to the channel, we talk all things Pokemon card investing on this channel with a particular lens on sealed product. If you want to support the channel, throw us a like down below, and also, don't be afraid to subscribe. I really appreciate everyone that tunes in. The support means a lot. Let's just jump straight into it with Paldea Evolved. Now, I don't want these comments to come across as controversial, but I feel like they might, because I somewhat feel that Paldea Evolved is a little bit overhyped. Now, I'm not saying in any way, shape or form this is a bad Pokemon card set. I've said all along it's a B / maybe verging towards a B plus Pokemon card set. It's not terrible, it's not Evolving Skies, it's not mid, but it sits somewhere between mid and good. And that's my opinion on it. I actually think at $357 US, as you can see on the screen here, the booster box is quite expensive for something still in rotation. Now here's my prediction on it, right? I'll talk through why I've got this prediction on it. So at $357, I feel like it's maybe, look, everything's hyped up though. It's the most expensive Scarlet and Violet booster box in case you didn't realize. And there's a few reasons for that, namely that Magikarp, that's expensive raw, but it's also incredibly expensive as a PSA 10. That's what's pulling the price of the box up. And I'll talk a bit more about that in a second, but my prediction on this box is Paldea Evolved will go out of rotation next April. And when that happens, it'll jump up a bit more. I can't see it not, unless we get some very last minute reprint, which I think is fairly unlikely, then it's gonna jump up in price, the booster box. And look, maybe this $357 booster box will very quickly become a $500 booster box once it goes out of rotation. Maybe it'll become a $450 booster box. I don't know exactly what it'll become, but I think it'll sit somewhere around that $450 to $500 US mark the moment it goes out of rotation. Now the hard part is, does this Pokemon card set have the legs to pull it stronger than that in the not too distant future? And like I said, the reason for its main growth is that Magikarp. Shinji Kanda, his artwork is just on another level at the moment. And this Magikarp is a beautiful card. I'm not doubting that in any way, shape or form. And as a PSA 10, it's so difficult to grade being an illustration rare that as a PSA 10, it pulls amazing amounts of money. But what else is there? Okay, the Sleeping Raichu's nice, the Tyranitar's nice, but other than those, we have all these new gen Pokemon that they're just not really fan favorite Pokemon yet. And I get some people's argument, maybe when, Gen 9 lovers become a little bit older and have more investable or spare money to splash around, then maybe they'll resonate a lot with this era and buy up this booster box, quite possibly. But I just don't know if there's enough in it to pull it up. It reminds me, and it's a better set than Burning Shadows, but Burning Shadows jumped up so quickly because it was pulled along by Charizard and how expensive it was when it graded a PSA 10 from Sun and Moon era Burning Shadows with that Rainbow Charizard. And look, that was really a one-hit wonder. This is a little bit more than a one-hit wonder because the Raichu and the Tyranitar are nice cards as well, but that's where this value is slungshot from. It's pulled up, it's resonated so closely with that Magikarp, and does it have much more to pull it above a $500 US booster box once it goes out of rotation? Look, time will tell, but I think it's going to sit around that price and probably sit there for a little bit of time. The next one I wanted to talk about is Crown Zenith. $185 US an Elite Trainer box. This is a phenomenal Pokemon card set. There is absolutely no doubting that. And look, a lot of the growth has already happened. These were everywhere. This wasn't a hard product to pick up. It's not like what it's been now in Scarlet and Violet. These Crown Zenith Elite Trainer boxes were sitting around, the $40 to $50 US mark for a long period of time. Here in Australia, look, it was a little bit difficult to buy them at that price. I bought in at about $55 US an Elite Trainer box, which worked out at the time like 89 Australian dollars was about the cheapest you could buy it. So look, I'm happy with the position I bought in at, and look, a lot of growth has already happened. And where does this go? Well, it's only going to go in one direction, isn't it? It's not going to get any cheaper. In my mind, given how much it was printed, including additional, things like Sea and Sky boxes that have come out recently, there's a lot of it being printed, and the Elite Trainer box isn't a rare product. It's not at all. It was printed very heavily. It somewhat reminds me of something like a Hidden Fates. Hidden Fates did have that big chase card in the Charizard that sat above a lot of the ancillary hits. Crown Zenith has more depth probably than what something like Hidden Fates does, but it's missing that real absolute banger chase card. The Mewtwo V-Star is absolutely beautiful and has cemented itself as the second most expensive chase card. And the Gold Giratina is cool, but it's no Giratina from Lost Origin. I think that's north of $200 as a raw chase card now, but it's missing that like big $300 or $400 chase card raw, isn't it? Which I don't think is going to hurt it. In my opinion, if we look back on Crown Zenith in say 18 months time, we look back at $185, we're going to say that's pretty cheap, because I think it's going to be somewhere around $300 in 18 months time. That's my prediction for Crown Zenith. Next one, 151. Again, this is another Scarlet and Violet era set that will go out of rotation next April. No matter what the product is inside here, and I'm going to scroll through a few on the screen here, whether you're looking at the UPC at $415, the ETB at just over $305, or the Pokemon Center Elite Trainer box at $812. Whoa, that is expensive. And where does that difference come from? And this is a really important topic to touch on. Elite Trainer box, not overly rare. Everyone was waiting for these to drop again. I remember when they came out, they were like, $40 to $50, and that's where I bought them at. Not that I bought heaps, but I bought a few, and then they sort of rose to $60 and $70, and everyone was going, nah, it's going to get cheap. It's going to get cheaper. And it's like, you should have bought when it was that price, because look at it now. It hasn't got any cheaper. It's absolutely slungshot up in price. And there's that massive difference between the Elite Trainer box and the Pokemon Center one. Mostly because the Pokemon Center one is just so much rarer. Like, that really matters. The supply on that box is so small, coupled with the fact that the Snorlax has that stamped Pokemon Center promo inside there. That adds so much value to that card. We see the difference between stamped Pokemon Center promos and their regular Elite Trainer box promo counterpart. That stamped promo, particularly for grades of PSA 10, is worth heaps of money and adds so much value to that box. That is a very collectible piece from 151. Where do I see it going? Well, look, it can't be far away from being a $1,000 Pokemon Center Elite Trainer box, can it? And to be fair, the regular Elite Trainer box, once it goes out of rotation, there's every chance it could jump to $450, $500 by next April. It's just going to get rarer and rarer, that product. While we're in the interlude, I just want to give a quick shout out to today's video sponsor, which is of course the Collector app. Link in the description to download it. If you don't have it, that's where it'll be. It's an awesome app. You can log your whole singles and sealed collection inside there. Moreover, if you're an investor, there's a new feature on the app, which is really cool. You can jump in and look at set analytics. So you can look at the top chase cards inside a set, the top sealed products inside a set. The big one now is, though, you can see total set value. And I harp on about that on this channel and how important total set value is to the investing future potential of sealed products. The better the total set value, the better the top 10 hits, the better the sealed product is going to perform over time as supply dries out in it. So that's really important for us investors. The Collector app. Also, don't be afraid to sign up as a pro user. It gives you heaps more data and also runs you in the competition to win some awesome prizes, including some first edition base set booster boxes. Let's jump on to my fourth example, and that's Lost Origin. I remember when I made a bold video about 3 to 4 weeks ago, in fact, it probably was a month ago now, about the best sealed product to invest in over the next 12 months. And I said it was a Lost Origin booster box when it was like $490. And already we're up to $655. This thing is pumped up very quickly, not because of my video, but because it's a good product. Hey, I bought these, my average of buying these Lost Origin booster boxes was about $133. Look, it doesn't mean you've missed the boat buying at this price. That's like someone saying, Evolving Skies was too dear at $655. I'm not saying Lost Origin's as good a Pokemon card set as Evolving Skies, because it's not. But it doesn't mean you've missed the boat. Okay, you've missed the massive initial gains off this sealed product, but it can still double in price quite quickly. I think this is still one of the best investments. Look, if you'd sort of taken some of my advice a month ago when it was sub 500, you know, it's already proving that massive trend upwards. This is a good set. Why? That Shinji Kanda Giratina is just an absolute banger. So it's got some absolute heat pulling it up. It's got an ancillary hit there in the Aerodactyl. So there's 2 strong chase cards to chase in the main set. And then we have an awesome trainer gallery. It's just got so many fan favorite Pokemon in it. Like, how can you go wrong? It's got 3 Pikachus, plus a Gold Mew, plus Charizard, plus Snorlax, plus Gengar. Like, all in a trainer gallery. There will be people wanting, you know, Lost Origin PSA 10 trainer gallery collections in the future. There'll be people wanting that setup. There'll be people wanting Giratinas. Like, it's a good Pokemon card set. Is it as good as Evolving Skies? Of course it's not. Where's it going to go? It's just going to keep continuing north. I wouldn't be surprised in 12 months' time if this was a $800 or $900 booster box. 2 to go. I wanted to chat about Evolving Skies at $2,135. It has had a little retraction in the last couple of days, really, or maybe the last week. It's retracted just a touch from its highs above $2,200. I bought my box at $151. Pretty much in the first wave when it came out, and I wish, of course, I bought more. Sometimes we have other priorities in our life, though, where we need to put our money. So never be ashamed of that. I don't know if that's advice or not, but don't put all your money into Pokemon. If things come up and you miss the boat on something, it's fine. There'll always be other opportunities. But Evolving Skies at $2,135, I've always underestimated the potential of Evolving Skies. It is arguably, coupled with Team Up, one of the greatest Pokemon card sets, if not the greatest Pokemon card set of the modern era. I mean, we have 2 absolute fan favorite Pokemon types coming together. We have Evolutions and we have Dragons. Okay, Rayquaza, Dragonite, Noivern looking like Batman. You've got, of course, Umbreons, like just almost every evolution you can think of, and they've combined the 2 together. If only we had, imagine if we had a Gyarados special illustration rare. Who is doing a Gyarados special illustration rare? Or alternate art? Like, someone just do one already. Make me happy in that regards. Anyway, $2,135. I've always underestimated. In 12 months' time, surely this is going to be a $3,000 booster box. Maybe even a $4,000 booster box. It's just, I underestimate it every time. It's just going to go from strength to strength because it is one of the greatest modern era Pokemon card sets, if not the, that we've ever seen. And finally, a little roughie, a little diamond in the rough, and that's Battle Styles at $217. This seems to be the ugly duckling of the Sword and Shield family. It cops so much hate as being the worst Pokemon card set from the Sword and Shield era, but it's just not. Like, I just think that's an incorrect statement. I'm not saying it's a fantastic Pokemon card set, but if we were to do the same ranking like I rank Paldea Evolved as, a B/B+ set, and maybe leaning a little bit more towards B+, well, where would we rank Battle Styles? I don't think it's a D. Is it a C? Quite possibly. Is it a C+? Yeah, maybe verging on it. Is it a B-? Or maybe you're pushing it a little bit, but that gives us a bit of a gauge of where it sits in that realm. And if we look through the cards, of course that Sleeping Tyranitar is the main chase card. My boy Empoleon, which I've been giving some love to over the years, on just how nice looking an alternate art Pokemon card that is. That is a good looking Pokemon card. It's now the 3rd most expensive Pokemon card from the set in Battle Styles. We have a couple of the Urshifus in there. One's over $70 now. Like, this isn't a terrible Pokemon card set. In my opinion, it's better than Vivid Voltage. In my opinion, it's way better than Darkness Ablaze. It's better than Rebel Clash. It's better than Sword and Shield base. It's not a bad set. At $217, it's the cheapest Sword and Shield booster box on the market. It's cheaper than Darkness Ablaze. Why wouldn't you buy Battle Styles over Darkness Ablaze? Where's it going to go? That's the big question, though. Is it going to shoot up to be a $400 booster box? Is it ever going to be a really, really expensive booster box? No, it's not. It's never going to be to Evolving Skies heights. Of course it's not. That would just be a silly statement. But when I've made videos recently, in fact, my last video, I went all the way back through eras, all the way down to black and white. And even if we look at the worst Pokemon card sets, they're never going to perform as well as the best Pokemon card sets. It was always, the mid-tier sets sat in the middle, the highest, the best sets with the best chase cards, with the most fan favorite Pokemon, had really expensive booster boxes. And then even those, worse Pokemon card sets, they still performed pretty well over time. This is not going to be an outlier where it sits at 5,000 US dollars in 3 years like maybe Evolving Skies will. But at $200, there's nothing to say that this isn't going to be a 600 US dollar booster box in 2 to 3 years time. So you could 3x even your money in that time period, in my opinion. I'm not trying to pump it up because I've got one Battle Styles booster box which I bought for 111 US dollars. I actually probably paid a little bit too much for it when it came out. I'm thinking maybe to buy a couple more. I don't think it's a bad investment at 217 US dollars. There we go, the predictions video, some of my favorite to do. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I'm Michael, this is Pokeols, and I'll catch everyone next time.